What's happening in Thailand right now? We are gonna be Yo Casters. I'm Arctic, and of course, with me is the lovely Saya.
That's right. Hello, everyone. And this time we're going to witness another Chinese Taipei, but their wild card division, alongside with the Thailand people out there. I'm also excited here because this is another strong path of teams right here.
Oh, I'd have to agree with you. And I think this is the interesting thing, like for the past few days. We get a few glimpses, a little bit of a imbalance in a way between teams that we've managed to cast before. But what's interesting about this day, as you mentioned, is that these are teams that kind of go head to head against each other. So really, I think this is a great demonstration overall of what's actually in the meta in the actual live patches with what heroes are already out. So definitely have quite the interesting games that we had ahead of us.
That's right. And this is quite new to our own server as well.
Oh, yeah.
This
Definitely.
is like what I mentioned a while ago, that this is like a highlight for the Valiant server right here. I mean, the mere fact that we can see some new heroes that are being used, new strategies or playstyle that are being executed by the respective teams. I mean, it's still, the intensity is still there because they show different types, and we can't just sit here and it gives us the natural hype of how they managed to play so very well in this new meta. But regardless of the new meta as well, we can also see that there are other teams that are not going into the new meta that they have right now. They still know the boundaries, or they still know the potential of the other heroes that were released.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I'm just excited to get into this match because match one was such a great showing between both China as well as the Greater Taipei. It looks like my prayers have been answered as we head into the drafting phase. Once again, this is between the main team Thailand versus the Chinese Taipei wildcard team this time around.
That's right, and we will see if there's gonna be new bans. Oh, and we can see right here for Thailand, they have banned Omen for their first choice.
Yeah, Omen.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of response that we'll have here for the Chinese Taipei.
The great thing about Omen here is that he was an excellent split pusher from what we saw earlier, and pretty much gave China quite a number of problems during the third game of match one earlier. So, but nonetheless, looking at the rest of these bans here, the Flash, HuaLin, as well as Superman taken off the board.
That's right, there were no surprises there since we've seen these types of high priority bans from the previous games that we've seen. But still, amazing because HuaLin is banned this first match that we will be witnessing right now. And oh my precious Liliana is banned into this game. Looks like they have seen the potential of my baby here, so Thailand decides to finally ban this foxy lady.
Yep, foxy. So, wondering, okay, for the last ban, could potential, I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing maybe another Malak or Senial ban this time around, but that would leave Thailand to a deficiency because if Chinese Taipei, okay, so it's going to be a Raz ban. So that definitely leaves a lot more open for the taking here. I'd say Raz not a bad way to go because not only if it's a respect pick, then sure, but at the same time, you have to take into account that by having lots of the heavy prios open, TH needs to decide, okay, which has the heaviest bearing, because Chinese Taipei wildcard in exchange that has two opportunities to secure some of those bigger picks that are left out in the open. I mean, we have lots of heroes like Wonder Woman. We have Teamy.
We have Aurum as well.
Now that you mention it, Aurum actually. So oh wow.
We see a Preta from a very long time. We see a Preta, but this isn't new from the meta. I mean, this isn't like in terms of meta, but I can see that Thailand knows the precious worth of this Preta right here. And you can see like my prayers again are also answered. We see an Aurum on the other side of the team. Oh, they changed it. Oh my goodness. I've been joked again. This is not good for me, but it's fine.
Yep.
I'm not the one playing anyway, but we'll see. So far, we see a Teamy Senial here.
You can never...
similar to the previous games that we had, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, by going for the Teamy as well as the Senial, because in my opinion at least, these would have been heroes that would have potentially complemented Thailand with the initial pick on Preta. Because here's the thing, revealing a Preta this early on for Thailand pretty much already gives an idea as to what key ingredients Thailand would otherwise have wanted to draft. And as a thing for consideration for Chinese Taipei wildcard, they have to make the choice. Okay, do we go for heroes that, if we had an initial game plan, we'll still stick to it, or do we try to deny picks from Team Thailand that would have otherwise have complemented this Preta pick?
Yes, and in the end, they have chosen a teamy Lubu in response to the Preta that we have. I can see here that as much as possible, they want to stop this Preta during the early minutes of the game, so that, of course, who would want to face a Preta that's very well fed and with good items right now? But we can see here that Thailand is taking a XianYo for the taking, or will it be another Juke? But I want to see myself because, like we mentioned a while ago, Aurum is still open for grabs.
Oh man, still taking their precious time on this. Because there's a lot they think. Okay, so a Violet as well, gonna be much more complimentary, leaves much more problems for Chinese Taipei wildcard because what Preta was locked in, sure, but by locking in a Violet, that kind of makes them need to decide which is gonna be much more of a pain in the butt. Once they hit those bigger team fights, it's gonna be the Preta or the Violet hitting in from the back line. Either way, expect that Team Thailand is gonna keep them very well protected. But ooh, Malok, that would be a great pick actually.
That's right, I agree with you. But if you say that Thailand is gonna keep them protected, I'm pretty sure Team Taipei is going to make sure that they're the first of the high priority as their targets. But meanwhile, like you mentioned, a Malok right here trying to counter off that XianYo pick coming from Team Thailand right there. This is gonna be quite... Oh, we can see a Kali pick right here. Well, this is like the last time I've seen a Kali pick was during our season into the Valor Cup season 2 between well, I think Clutch Guild was the one who used it if I'm not mistaken. But in all means, I have seen a Kali. This is not Juke, it's locked in. I would want to know what kind of result this is. Considering the fact that Kali has great damage, especially with her ult. But the tricky part here is on how to direct the skill properly and with good timing.
Yeah, what I like about this pick though is that by going for this Kali, they have a carry that doesn't have to be in the range of these fights, because you have to take into account, in order for Preta and Violet, sure, they have some pretty good range, but there has to be a certain distance that they need to maintain just so that they could reach the targets from Chinese Taipei wildcard. But by going for a Kali, Kali doesn't need to be within that range. Could pretty much just hit from afar with that ultimate. It has a nice spread, pretty painful as well. So I like the direction this is going for both sides. Really smart counters that we're seeing in terms of picks.
That's right, and we can see right here a Scud and an Alice on that. Looks like we'll be seeing a XianYo Alice type of combo right here. But on response with Team Taipei here, we have a Morin for their marksman.
Whoa.
Oh, I stand corrected. They changed it from Morin to Murad. This is quite a long time as well that I've seen a Murad being picked, because of course there's a new meta into their server, but wow, I think these are smart counters for each side of the team. So I'm having this quite of a difficulty on who's who. I think it's about I think it's about like who's gonna go first and who's gonna take it on to the kill.
Yep. So there we have it, guys. Both sides having locked in their respective compositions. Okay, I'm wondering, might have that been a... Okay, so these guys are just raring to go. Gonna wear their headsets now. We'll be heading up into the game in a teeny bit.
Yes, that headset would be serving as their helmet, like an armor, like, a knight, if you know what I mean. Well, I'm so sorry. I just got a little bit of a jet lag from what I've witnessed onto the outside of the studio right here.
I see. I thought you literally meant jet lag, wherein I was thinking, wait, did Seiya go out of the country or something? Wait, is she Did she go to Thailand to watch the games maybe?
No. I think my mind just went out of town.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nonetheless, as you can see, our players looking to load in onto the entire battlefield, and looks like we have done just yet. So ladies and gents, make some noise once again as we head into game 1 of match 2 for today's round of games. It's going to be the main team from Thailand versus the Chinese Taipei wildcard team. Who's going to emerge victorious? Let's go ahead and see. Join us, one and all.
That's right. I'm really looking forward to this because, hey, we're already seeing, it's an honor actually to see two strong teams fight themselves into this match. Oh, so it looks like here that Alice is trying a helping hand on Violet on getting that red golem right there. Teamy trying to sneaky, hoping to see if there are potential enemies back there, but so far Kali goes to roam down to the bottom lane right here. And we can see on the top side of the lane, they're poking abilities from Lubu onto the XianYo, but so far, no engagements.
Yeah, looks like red team trying to go for a cheeky invade. Will just content themselves with a minor camp there. Meanwhile, MeMarkz as well as Moss making themselves busy as well by giving a trickier time for XianYo on this Myriad in the midst of clearing out these camps.
Looks like we're gonna see a 2v2 onto the mid lane right here. Teamy trying to use his pooty poots against Pareta and Alice, but goes away because Kali wasn't there on the nick of time to actually help it out.
Yep, and man, oh man, so far, so it's mostly been a fight for control over these camps. A mirror of trying to deny what each team can from the opposing team. Nothing that has particularly led to a scuffle or a first blood. That's a little bit later on, but this goes to show just how both teams not wasting any time. That's for sure.
Yes, but if you can see right here that Team Chinese Taipei is grouping up together for that Abyssal Dragon early encounter. Let's see if Team Thailand is going to contest to that. Yes, sirree.
Oh man, they're going to go for it. Thailand trying to find the opening, but looks like Chinese Taipei going to go for a turn, keeping the members of Team Thailand at bay. Looks like they're going to go for it right here. MeMarkz actually getting the full barrage of damage from HuaLin. Look at that. He manages to survive with Slither, but XianYo going to go straight in. Goes for the assassination, and mission accomplished. They succeed by taking down that juicy key target, the Pareta.
That's right, and Murad knew what he was capable of. Right there again, from the first bravery of the tower dive to that other engagement which was held by his fellow comrades.
Yep, so far so good. And take note, that was heavy focus in terms of kills given to the Myriad. So that's definitely going to be a problem for Thailand, especially if XianYo finds a way to continue to amp up on this particular hero, because we know just how painful a World of Plane fed Myriad is going to bring the Team Thailand if they don't find a solution to that sooner. But HuaLin hitting in just a few more, and unfortunately XianYo not able to save his comrade in the nick of time. Ultimate missing out by about a second and a half.
That's right. If you notice a while ago, Scud tried his best to push away the enemies, but was caught into the hands of Kali's kit. And so far we can see that Myriad here is really not wasting his time and going for the resources that he have on the side of their lane. Looks like we can see here that in the early minutes of the game that Chinese Taipei has the advantage.
Yeah, look at the heavy gold generated by both XianYo and HuaLin already amidst the success that they've reached in the earlier part. So this is going to be tricky for Thailand because ideally, like I mentioned, you try to want to keep this Pareta and Violet well protected. Violet could just kite around. Pareta's going to be a sitting duck if ever any member of Chinese Taipei wildcard manages to dive in onto them. And all the more so, even if, let's say, they do have some kind of hold on any members of Chinese Taipei wildcard that goes in onto them, one particular problem is Myriad, because the temporal turbulence won't even get stopped once he procs that into the hands of the Thai squad. But okay, we have a little bit of a fight still going on here. XianYo gonna try to make the escape while leaving the Malak as well as the teamy behind. They're gonna have to back away, leave those two members of the Chinese Taipei wildcard as their sacrifice.
That's right. Looks like the Team Taipei was caught in between those in the blue side jungle right there, which gave an opportunity for Team Thailand to get that Abyssal Dragon uncontested. And I am right. But Lubu here split pushes successfully the top side of Thailand's tower.
Definitely making the best of that scenario, but you have to take note, guys. Look at the goal difference, 9.7 versus 11.4. Even though Thailand was able to get off 2 members from the side of the Chinese Taipei wildcard, still, they definitely have better relevance in this game where they're at right now in terms of gold lead. And I think I'd have to attribute it to the focus of build-up that both the Murad and the Kali was able to build up on, plus the Lubu, not to mention, plus the fact that they were able to get a turret ahead in this game.
That's right, but Timmy here going to wait for an opening engagement to engage his second skill along with his Pooty Poots, but so far there were no there were no enemies to be spotted on there, so they're going to proceed onto the bottom lane where there's an intense fight between Alice and Team Taipei and Thailand that were there.
That was a great play coming in from Chinese Taipei, using their crowd control to get a hold just so that the Kali could get the max damage. But still, as a result, they lose out on the teamie a tad bit earlier on. Meanwhile, LuYao not allowing the waves from the blue side to push in just so that there's a bit more comfort for the Thai squad here. I'm wondering, is Chinese Taipei wildcard going to try to push for a siege here in the bot lane? Looks like they're going to do just that. Kali ultimate is up once again. That is going to be 2 members. Take it down from the Thai squad. Not just that, but they get a turret as well.
That's right, that Kali not hesitating to get that ult and get that double kill from of course, from that Thailand team right there. I mean, it's nice that to see that the bravery of Team Taipei going onto that tower dive, not hesitating to go for that amazing team fight, even though it was a skirmish fight.
Right.
It was amazing because they did not show any hesitations. They showed no fear there, and that is a remarkable attitude, especially when there's a good opening right there.
Yep, not bad at all, Seiya. And oh man, so here's the thing though. Because Chinese Taipei wildcard has constantly been pushing for plays, even though the kills don't seem as big, look at the goal difference really starting to build up. Earlier we were looking at a 2,000 difference. Now back at rechecking, it's already at 4,000. And unless Thailand can find a fight that leads to their favor to tilt the scales back onto equal ground, then Chinese Taipei wildcard is just going to continue to have better control over the map than they do.
But on the second hand there, if Thailand manages to get that good opening that they've been waiting for, maybe if the Violet was on a little bit of the backside and more engagement on the XianYo Scud side, maybe, just maybe, they could be able to pull this off by various free hits coming from the Violet and also their other DPS.
Well, looks like HuaLin looking for an opportunity. Looks like they find it in the form of Cherie. Cherie's a little bit more on the tankier side though, so won't be able to get him just yet. LuYao tries to supplement with a knockup. We'll get to Moss though, but might be regretting just that because he's getting locked down by the rest of the Thai squad. And down he goes. Moss gets the kill.
That's right, and Timmy wasn't able to make it on time to help the comrade who has fallen down. But we can see here onto the middle lane that they're already here clumping up together in a hope that if they find this good opening from the middle lane or in anywhere outside the lane, one of the teams has temporarily or momentarily map control of it.
Ooh, man. Meanwhile, okay, so Chinese Taipei wildcard slowing down a tad bit after that Lubu getting picked off, but meanwhile it looks like Thailand is on the offense this time around. Great collapse leading up to not only a pickoff but a turret as well. Fallen a little bit late. We'll use the ultimate to clear off that wave though.
Yes, this is, I think Taipei is already aware that they should not go alone here because this is a bit of a tricky situation for them, especially when they're separated because they need each other in this moment in time.
Yeah, and oh man, that is gonna be unfortunate. XianYo getting taken down. Initially, but this is good for Thailand because by shutting down XianYo, definitely keeps that Murad in check. Not able to go the full-on snowball that we were somewhat expecting, and Thailand finally gonna have better control over objectives by going for the second Abyssal Dragon of their game.
That's right, and it's very uncontested because so far Lubu has nothing to do here because it's a 4-1 battle. Will Lubu be able to make it? I don't think so because Violet successfully slain him.
Yeah, but take note, HuaLin as well as NT making good work of the second tier in the mid lane. So I guess that's a good trade overall because by taking out a second tier, it definitely gives a little bit more of a leg up in reach for the Chinese Taipei squad.
Yes, so I think this goes to show that Lubu was willing to be a bait from that kind of situation.
Oh,
and so
definitely.
far, we can see that Taipei manages or successfully destroys the top side of the tower for Thailand, which is gonna have this a little bit of disadvantage for Team Thailand because, well, of course it's an objective. And second here, we can see that they're come together onto the top lane. Oh! Oh!
Outs, unfortunately for XianYo, wasn't able to dash out in the nick of time to get out of the radius of auto attacks that 007 can reach. Meanwhile, ultimate gonna be popped up by HuaLin again. Just a few scratches though, not able to get the full value of a bit. But what is this? Team Thailand, actually, are they gonna try to go for a Dark Slayer? A bit tricky, but then again, the numbers are in their favor. Here comes HuaLin. Will he be able to help out the rest of TPE that's trying to hold off Thailand from taking off the Dark Slayer? Oh man, that's AWC 11 rather, still stuck in the heat of the fight. Looks like actually managed to survive thanks to the teamie. HuaLin actually able to deal a sizable amount of damage. Here comes the Xeno, gonna go for the response with the heals. HuaLin trying to back away, but looks like that won't be the case. But I'd say that's still mission accomplished for Chinese Taipei by being able to hold off Thailand from taking that Dark Slayer.
That's right, but the survivability of the Thailand is well known in there. But the Alice here is shut down by Murad over there. And we can see here that they can't really take the Dark Slayer right here because due to insufficient number of members and the fact that I think they just preferred to put a bit of pressure for Team Thailand here so that, of course, they don't take much more of the objectives. So Murad here is just going for the blue side jungle right here so that they would have lesser resources. And, of course, Lubu taking the Sentinel for a little bit of a bonus damage.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Murad also here, but not taking the Abyssal Dragon. I thought he was going to take it, but it's a shame it's not going to be taken away. But we can also see here again Thailand trying to have this, finding this good opportunity to go again for another engagement.
Meanwhile, looks like the Chinese Taipei starting to slow down. Actually, they are. Earlier, they were so proactive with what plays they've been making across the map. Too much success, by the way. But Thailand has pretty much risen up to the challenge because of where they're at in this game. This is the tricky part because the more Team Thailand ramps up, the more painful and scarier their composition is gonna get. Meanwhile, Cherie tries to make the escape, but no, is actually prevented, and that's gonna be complementary damage coming in from HuaLin. But looks like XianYo as well as LuYao taken down just fine. Meanwhile, Remix actually gonna get clashed on by both the Malachus as well as the Timi. Tries to dash his way out of there. Looks like will survive to tell the tale though, but will have to back away to regenerate.
This is what I was talking about, that it applies to both teams, that they should not go alone because in crucial moments they are badly needed. And because of this, because they are being taken down one by one, it's going to be a difficult time for Team Thailand to actually go, other than engage fights, but actually get them. And speaking here, Team Taipei going with the Dark Slayer uncontested, and that's the reason why they cannot go alone in crucial times like these.
Oh, very gutsy move, but that's definitely gonna pay off for them. So at this time around, Team Thailand, they need to mount a pretty good defense. But then again, it depends though, because Chinese Taipei wildcard, if they don't make the most of this Dark Slayer, then pretty much goes to moot.
That's right, and I think the best option for Team Thailand here is to actually wait for that Dark Slayer to be debuffed. But I'm pretty sure that Team Taipei is not going to take this away. I mean, they're going to use all the advantages they have, which is one, the buff, and the mere fact that they have the map control now, more pressure onto Team Thailand here because they don't have a choice. They can't go out much onto the map because they have a Dark Slayer, they have more control onto the map, and they just have to wait for that right moment. Well, I guess I can suggest for a tower engagement, but this is not good because they are going away from the tower right here.
Oh man, that is definitely not optimal. Okay, so HuaLin gonna drop the ultimate, doesn't really quite hit on anybody. So that's definitely a little bit of a relief for Team Thailand, knowing that that ultimate from the Kali gonna be down for a few seconds. This could be a good window for them to solidify a good defense amidst Chinese Taipei wildcard, still trying to push it.
But yeah, as you mentioned a while ago, even though that the Kali ult was used, these seconds that are happening right now won't stop them because Kali's ult is already there. this is not, HuaLin is not hesitating to release that ult to give more pressure onto Thailand right here. And of course, with this dilly-dally happening around, another cooldown would happen onto Kali's ult, giving them more and more pressure that will actually lead them into a disadvantageous stage because they cannot go out again onto their side of the base.
That's definitely going to be frustrating for Thailand because now that I look at the itemization the Kali has, not only does she have a lower cooldown, I mean, has the items that grant her just that, but it looks like we have a scuffle here. LuYao caught in that pit and down he goes. And this could actually halt Chinese Taipei from going on for... Okay, look at that very gutsy Myriad. We'll just style this way out of there, though, amidst the rest of the Chinese Taipei wildcard squad. They try to go for that turret, but looks like they will not succeed. Oh no, 1-1. Actually manages to make it out of there, but still, they're trying to walk their way to safety. That's going to be the kill, though. Take down 007. And HuaLin just trying to keep the members of the team, the Thai squad, in place. But Thailand, they're not having it. They want to go for more. HuaLin goes down. XianYo just staying in from the back line. Looks like their next target here is going to be NT. NT trying to buy some time just so that there would be enough members of Chinese Taipei to go for a defense in case Thailand decides to siege. And nope, not done just yet. And finally, the sticky booger goes down.
That's right. This is what I'm talking about mispositioning. This is also what Thailand is waiting for, because if you notice, they weren't going out into their base a while ago because they were waiting for that right time, and that right time was into that engagement a while ago. So this is a good opportunity for them to go and into the mid lane, directly destroying that tower.
Oh man, definitely good for Thailand there. Finally, we see some form of take from them amidst their success in sieging that second turret. But there's still a long way to go, without a doubt. But definitely a leg up. At least we're slowly seeing them get back here, making up for lost ground. And as I mentioned, this Preda and Violet are gonna hurt all the more in the later parts of this game. And take note, Preda already nearing the completion of his fifth item rather. Oh no, fourth item still.
That's
still a bit of a
right.
build-up that he needs to make, but they're getting there.
I'll agree with you on that. So by saying that the Violet and the Preda will be itchy on the later side of the game, Taipei's objective right now is to give priority to actually slay them firsthand so that Team Thailand would have a difficulty when it comes to damage base. But so far we're gonna have some close waiting games right here. Remix being a little bit of too much of a waiting game. That wasn't so good. And
nope,
we see
not at all.
that there's more poking abilities right here for the Myriad, but decides to back away.
Yep, looks like we'll back away for now, but that is a heavy death timer that Remix has to go to bear with before he could help the rest of the Thai squad mount up a strong enough defense. The question is, just how long can the Thai squad keep their cool until such time Remix comes back up? Because take note, this high ground in the mid lane is looking very low, and the rest of TPE, they're trying to shove in that wave just so that they could try to get this high ground in the top lane, but 007 managing to take down the teamie. I don't think the teamie was expecting that much damage. They do succeed in taking down a high ground in the top lane though, so it looks like the natural thing to do at this point is to retreat. Meanwhile, HuaLin tries to take down the Violet and looks like will succeed, able to get within enough range to take her down.
Good teamwork done by Myriad and Kali back there. Myriad taking some distortion from the Thailand peeps right here, and Kali going for the ult that was successfully having a kill on their side. Meanwhile, Abyssal Dragon is has been respawned, but I think it is not necessarily on this time of the game because it's kind of getting pretty late, and we can see right here that if Taipei has a good set or a good team play to be engaged, this is not gonna go good for Thailand. Meanwhile, we are seeing a one-on-one side just a while ago between XianYo and Lubu, but is responded by the Kero comrades right there. Myriad, will he go? I think will he go for a backdoorish kind of play right here? Because if he does, it can be effective here. Although I think they will prefer a more of a head-to-head on fight by fight.
XianYo gonna manage to find Moss there, but take note, the rest of the Thai squad is there. Ooh, he just gets obliterated, pays the price immensely, and Thai squad, take note, with them being complete in numbers, they have better control over the Dark Slayer.
That's right, but look, Thailand still wants to go for an engagement here, but of course Malak goes back away right now. We can see a 1-by-1 between Lubu and XianYo right over here. So far, more into the poking, but suddenly disengage. More options for the Dark Slayer, still going to be contested. Kali uses ult onto the Dark Slayer here, goes for the enemy Team Thailand, but oh dear, it's gonna go for Team Thailand as the Dark Slayer buff goes to them.
Yep, 007 managing to clear it, while the rest of the Thai squad keep the members of the Chinese Taipei wildcard at bay. And this is gonna be big for Team Thailand. We've reached a point in the game wherein this Preta just shreds through, melts away the members of the Chinese Taipei wildcard. And I'm very worried for them at this point because very heavy death timers on both the Malak as well as the Kali. Can they last out long enough? XianYo is going to be the one to go down. Meanwhile, ooh, I think this could be the finish, Seiya. They're going to go for that high ground. They could easily go straight for the core as well. LuYao, he tried to defend, but still, even with Ancestral Glory, it won't be enough with all 5 members of the Thai squad alive and kicking. Ladies and gentlemen, we have our winner for game number 1. Congratulations. It's going to be the Thai squad taking it against the Chinese Taipei wildcards. GG, well played.
What an epic comeback coming from Team Thailand back there. I mean, would you look at that? I mean, the save play that they made and the correct openings that they had, it was their road to victory. I mean, this is what I was saying a while ago, that if they go alone or if they did not successfully go and free hit the first Violet and Preta, they're gonna really have a hard time right there.
Man, and looking pretty good there.
The smiles. Oh,
Yep.
the smiles.
Smiles, the eyebrow maneuver. I mean, if I were in their shoes, definitely feel pretty good about myself. And you gotta give kudos to Thailand because the fact that they were able to mount off a strong enough defense, because like I mentioned, the Chinese Taipei squad had all the means to close out early, but because Thailand was able to drag enough long, just so that the Preta as well as the Violet could get back on track, pretty much worked wonders for them. And you have to give compliments to both Cherie 007 as well as Remix for allowing them to do just that.
That's right, and if you can see on the stats right here, we've been mentioning about how itchy Violet and Preta are, but look, my little baby Alice is the MVP for Team Thailand. I mean, just look at that. Just look at that stats, and it's really amazing because without the help of Alice's buffs and movement speed, it would be also hard for them as well.
Pretty darn good game there. So nonetheless, very well played by both the Thai squad as well as the Chinese Taipei wildcard. Look at the damage though coming in from MeMarkz, and just the general participation of both Moss as well as MeMarkz at the same time. So still just very, very well played. I think the tricky part here at the same time is, like I mentioned, Chinese Taipei was able to get that early game going, but the struggle here is that Murad could only stay relevant for so long. As the game goes along, sure, he still packs a punch, but once the enemy team starts to build up on items, then he's going to have a trickier time assassinating targets. But nonetheless, ladies and gents, that has been game 1 for match 2. When we come back, we'll find out if the Chinese Taipei wildcard can mount a comeback against the Thai squad. I mean, it happened earlier, could happen again. We'll just find out in a bit. But for the meantime, we have been your casters. I'm Arctic, with me is Seiya. We're taking a quick break as this is the Arena of Valor World Cup 2018 boot camp.
Boot camp, yes.
Yes, see you guys in just a bit. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Arena of Valor World Cup 2018 boot camp. So we're going to be heading into game 2 once again. This is the main team from Thailand versus the Chinese Taipei wildcard team. But, you know, before we talk a little bit about what happened earlier as well as this next game to come, we are casters. I'm Arctic, and of course with me is the lovely Seiya.
Hello there, everyone, and yes, it was really an intense game from the first game that we had, because I was already expecting the Taipei to win. I mean, I was just waiting for that right opening, like that good set or that good opportunity to actually engage with them. But surprisingly, Thailand manages to actually turn the tables around, if you know what I mean. Like it's like a similar one to the first few days of the boot camp that we just witnessed, just, you know, for the past few days. And I'm really giving the chill. I'm having the chills right now because I'm not the things that that I'm expecting are sometimes not happening because
Right.
it's been reciprocated by a turn of events, and I'm really betting that the others are also stunned by what happened just
Yeah,
now.
pretty good, darn good games, especially for our Valiant server peeps that are at least getting a glimpse of what to expect, what heroes are yet to come out on our server. But ladies and gents, of course, not just to our peeps on the Valiant server, by the way, to everybody, of course, that's watching the English broadcast straight from the MSP. So thank you very much to everybody that's watching. But of course, let's hold out from that talk into the drafting phase we go.
That's right, and we can see there's still no surprises on the band right there because they're still high priority like Omen, the Flash, and Superman. Looks like I'm not gonna be seeing any Superman plays today.
Yep.
Also, the Flash as well.
Are we ever?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you have a point right there because, well, there is always a reason why they're always high priority as banned, because both teams are seeing the potentials of each hero that they're banning right here, and we see that this time HuaLin is being banned by Team Taipei.
Yep, indeed, Seiya. So far, definitely a lot open though. As a result of the okay, so Teamy, no surprise right there, gonna be taken off the board here. But that goes to say that depending on, I highly doubt that we're gonna be seeing Malik or a XianYo pick, just because it definitely gives. But anyway, aside from that, though, aside from just XianYo, Malik, other potential bans could be the Arum, could be the, I don't know, Wonder Woman as well, but hasn't been as much of a ban as of recent. But it's gonna be the Alice instead. Not gonna be taking any chances by allowing Thailand that extra utility that Alice brings.
Yeah, that's right. But meanwhile, my pretty little foxy lady Liliana and Arum is open and up for grabs. But I wonder if either of the teams would be able to use my lovely little ladies. But we can see here, because of the bans, XianYo, Malik is open also and up for grabs.
Oh man, so far so good. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We are gonna get some
I'm
Arum
like,
action
no,
this evening.
no.
Oh, they're gonna up for Max instead.
We're getting juked here. I told you we're not gonna finalize things because we are getting juked here. Cherie, why you do this? Okay, we're back to Arum.
Okay, there we go.
See, Cherie's going for Arum this time. It's final, it's locked in, and I have no regrets. Meanwhile, yes, we will see if Taipei has a good response to it. Okay, we see a Malik for the first pick, but
Okay.
I don't want to get juked again, so I don't want to finalize it yet. Of
But
course.
I mean, still, Malik would definitely be pretty good pick. Have some great initiate there. Also, gonna have something that could go toe to toe in the same aspect of tankiness as the Arum, although much more oriented towards. Okay, so there's your Liliana as well. It's the CFS happening right here.
I'm liking this game. I'm liking this game pretty much.
Oh man.
But yeah, although I was expecting it a little bit that the Arum Liliana would be on the same side, but still, my best picks were appeared right here. So I'm really excited because Malik, we've seen like a Malik Liliana on through the past few days, and it gave a good and outstanding performances. And meanwhile, here on the Team Thailand, we see a XianYo initial pick there. I'm gonna say initial, so that yeah.
Don't want to jinx it just yet. But
Yes.
yeah, I'd say XianYo would definitely be a smart pick given that Chinese Taipei wildcard has already locked in that Malik. So ideally, they'd want someone that could kind of match that semi-global-ish presence that the Malik has. And of course, XianYo, definitely a bit more global, although a conditional target global, in which case. So they're going to complement that with a Lubu as well. Not bad. A lot, pretty solid so far.
Yeah.
What Thailand has drafted so far.
That's right. I'm really seeing some tankiness and bulkiness from Team Thailand right here. Looks like they're gonna go for a no fear tower dive kind of play. I'm expecting tower dives here based on the team compositions that we've seen right now. And on the Team Taipei right here, we see an initial pick of a Ta'ara. I think they're also going to counter that with what Thailand has to offer right here, but so far we'll see if they lock onto this Ta'ara or Mar thing. They're gonna be I think they really want to go on head to head with this Thailand pick right here.
Now, that's actually not a bad way to go if you think about it. So Lindis as well as the Ormar. So definitely a great hold through the Malak as well as the Ormar to grant both XianYo, well, depending on who it goes to, of course, but rather the Liliana as well as the Lindis, that max space to just to shot what they can. But at the end of things, Thailand gonna go with the Violet as well as the Pareto once again.
That's right. And if you notice from the past few days and from the past few matches that we've seen a lot of Lindis, Liliana kind of team composition alongside with other three
True.
that can actually support them because, well, I'm not going to deny the fact that they have good DPS, especially when Liliana does the poking, Lindis does the free hitting, and based on this composition that we have here, if Malok gives a good initiate, I think it's gonna be a good game for them. But on the other side here on Team Thailand, looks like they also have a good steady DPS because of the Violet and Preda here. All the Aram and XianYo, also let's say Lubu, has to do is to protect these two babies right here because they will be very, very itchy onto the late game as the time progresses.
Hopefully we see a solid enough defense, but so far I am liking these picks. But all the more so, probably, I'm all about these compositions wherein you have a lot of tanky members that could easily just set up for the key carries. In this case, that would be the Chinese Taipei wildcard, given that they have the Liliana as well as the Lindis. That will be the clear two stars that'll be shining with the Malok, with the Tara as well as, I forgot that one last was, no, not XianYo.
Is it Max?
No, was it Max on their side? I don't think so. Well, anyways, we'll find out
Yeah, we'll
a
find
little
out
later. But I don't know. How about you, Saya?
Well, in my opinion here, both of the teams actually catered good team compositions, smart counters, and smart team plays as well. So for now, I can't really decide who's who. Well, in my opinion, though, maybe if we're going to further study it more, I'm going to go for Thailand's composition for now because I like the way that they are aware of, they're not afraid, the hesitations. They're not taking hesitations, especially on tower dives, and their composition compensates for that.
Yep. I guess we'll just have to find out. Okay, so it was the Ormar. There we go. So Malak, Tara, and Ormar, which would have a pretty great hold on the members of Team Thailand. Although, then again, I'm not really sure how that's going to pan out just because they're running a Preta as well as a Violet. So that being said, Tara, Malak, and Ormar, I'm not sure what they'll be going for here, whether it's just to focus on making sure that XianYo or HuaLin are kept alive and kicking, or if it's more of trying to dive in on those key carries in the back line first and foremost. So there we go. Man, that Arum, every time I hear those effects, it gives me the chills.
Yes, that is why that is my second baby right then. If you notice a while ago, it wasn't shown on the map,
right,
but Arum was into the red side golem of their side, but it was like invaded by Lindis, Ormor, and Malak a while ago, which is surprisingly, Cherie was able to survive that long with not that much of a damage coming from them. That's right, I really like this kind of tank right here.
Right.
The survivability! You just wanna grasp it onto your hands.
Yeah, but look at that tad bit of a group up there with the Braids, as well as Moss. Okay, so they're just gonna back away for now though, so definitely a good defense set up by the Chinese Taipei wildcard just so that no shenanigans can be forced by Thailand in the midst of contesting potential camps from the side of Chinese Taipei.
That's right, and we can see that Taipei here is already playing safe. Different from the ones that we've seen earlier. I mean, earlier that we seen a while ago that they were aggressive, but now they're already playing safe to get that right engagement. And speaking, Lindis tries to engage Remix there, but Remix successfully goes to his tower to actually help me or save me. Meanwhile, Thailand here going for the Abyssal Dragon 10 thing, but we can see that TPE is here trying to contest it.
Gutsy numbers are starting to boost. Okay, so it's a full-on 4v4 right now. A struggle for the Abyssal Dragon. Looks like it's going to be Thailand in the end that secures it. But meanwhile, looks like MG a little bit far from the... or rather, NT far from the comfort of his teammates. Looks like he's going to be the sacrifice right there.
That's right, and it was a 3-on-1. I mean, it's gonna be a difficult time for him to escape as
True.
well. And we can see right here, Thailand
man.
successfully gets that mighty golem away from Team Taipei. But we can see right now, because of that, the equilibrium is already shaken. We can see here that Thailand is quite confident enough to go group together and
True.
have a good team fight right here. They just need that good opening there. But we can see that Liliana poking here is quite tough, but we can see that she has that escaping abilities. So far, we don't see any casualties just yet.
Not just yet, Seiya, but man, looks like Thailand really wanting to push the pressure onto the side of the Chinese Taipei, and looks like they're actually succeeding, in which case, and definitely showing, looks like they have a different agenda right here. XianYo and MG are going to try to make good work of this top turret, but XianYo going to come in to get a bit of support there, gets a heal onto Remix as well, because he was looking pretty low. So XianYo saves the day.
That's right. Of course, he doesn't want his comrade to be fallen
Right.
just yet because, well, it's gonna be a little bit disadvantageous for them. Meanwhile, TPE trying to push down the bottom side of the lane, but good thing RM goes in the nick of time.
Luckily for them. So Thailand definitely putting up a better pace here in terms of the response that they need. Because Chinese Taipei, wildcard, they've been trying to make plays, just these subtle plays, try to get some sieges. But Thailand definitely rolling with the punches quite well. But I'm not quite sure how long Cherie can last here. But then again, he's running the arm, so probably shouldn't be as worried.
That's right, and we can see that Team Taipei is currently clumped up here onto the middle lane, going for the Moss, and Moss is going to be slain by my Liliana, and we can see Preta a little bit too late on that charge right there. But this is also a good opportunity for Taipei to go ahead onto the map of the blue side, currently trying to engage Violet, but Violet successfully escapes. But Liliana here poking Violet right here with a little bit of an itchy bitchy damage right here. So that forces Violet to go back. Meanwhile, we see a 1v1 fight onto the top lane. But we can see that Lubu is at disadvantage right here.
Yeah, looks like Thailand once again able to ward off the members of the Chinese Taipei wildcard. I'm amazed by how long Thailand has managed to last out solid defense amidst Chinese Taipei wildcard's proactivity across this game so far. So, man.
That's right. And we can see right here that XianYo, Violet, and another member, Preta, is onto the mid lane. But it could have been better if they just took the Abyssal Dragon.
True.
because other side, the red side of the team weren't. Oh, speaking, they are
Okay.
now getting the Abyssal Dragon right there. But it could have been nice if they could have got it earlier because it was uncontested. I mean, the red side, they weren't in the Abyssal Dragon side right there. And if you can see, just a while ago that Taipei is already focusing more onto the top side of Team Thailand. Lubu here kind of a bit stuck onto the tower, hoping for this tower hug right here, but is engaged by Taipei right here with no hesitations, no questions asked.
Oh man, Remix, what is with the Thai squad constantly able to survive with a slither of health? And in the end, it's actually MG that goes down in the counter, man.
See, that roaring of the ravenous beasts of Aram gives really the chills and gives you the chills because that Aram has successfully slain that flawlessly.
I am very impressed by what I'm seeing here, but then again, we have another fight breaking out here. Thailand raring for more. XianYo granting them that extra heal, tries to go for 11 here. Oh, has managed to escape thanks to NT and HuaLin, granting him enough of a leeway to just back away.
That's right, but you can't just ignore the Violet Preta poking abilities right there because it forces the red side of the team to just back off. More potential for Team Blue side here to push towers right here. Like what I said, Moss and Remix here pushing the bottom side of the lane.
Oh man, that's going to be another turret taken down by Team Thailand. Definitely making good work. Looks like they're on the offensive time around. And great timing, by the way, because this also gives them access to get priority over Abyssal Dragon once again. Second one of the game.
That's
great
right.
pace.
And it's also uncontested, as a matter of fact, right there. This is going to give Thailand a more map control for them. If Taipei doesn't do anything about this is not going to go looking good for them.
No, I'd have to agree with you there, Seiya. So far we'll just have to see, because it's still a sizable goal difference that we're looking at. Pretty much still within manageable range. But, okay, so let's go ahead and see what else that they could go for here. Because they've already taken the first tiers towards bot side. So mid and upper part Upper bar definitely a viable candidate just because look at it, a slither of health before that turret goes down. But looks like Team Thailand has other plans. They want to still continue to establish control over the camps of the Chinese Taipei wildcard.
That's right, they're still contesting for that blue of the red side right now because they don't want more resources to be on the hands of the red side because they want, since they have more map control, they want it as advantageous as they can. They will take everything into their hands. And so far we can see that there was an early poking in this bottom lane side, but so far there's nothing much happening until we can see more numbers add up. We can see more engagements happening right here.
Oh man, looks like Thailand continuing to mill through. It's such a shame because Chinese Taipei, they were trying to make plays earlier, but didn't quite succeed. But let's go ahead and look at this fight happening between Cherie as well as 11. This is Battle of the Tanks, not really. It takes a little bit more of a while, but here comes XianYo, going to be responding. Cherie, okay, XianYo will be popping in to support the Aram there, and looks like they will succeed. Managed to get that defeat. Meanwhile, Ormar is on the run for his life. Looks like we'll manage to retreat quite safely, but looks like it might be XianYo that might get caught out there, and that's going to be the takedown coming in from Remix. NT will try to back away, survives with the slither of HuaLin might find himself in a tricky situation here, though. Looks like, okay, we'll be just fine, though.
But it's already disengaged right now. But if you saw the 1v1 a while ago coming from Aram and Malak a while ago, if it wasn't for the support of XianYo back there, Aram would be in big trouble. But I like the way that Aram's survivability goes right there. Looks like the Dark Slayer is gonna go into the hands of Thailand uncontested.
Yes, indeed. Team Thailand. Oh, Dark Slayer, this is gonna be massive for them. Chinese Taipei wildcard, they need a hope and a prayer to keep up a solid enough defense because the past few minutes definitely been a build-up towards the Thai squad here.
That's right, and we have to see what Taipei is going to do here because they really have to find a way because as time progresses here, each skills of the blue side here is going to be tricky for them. Especially example here in Aram. In the first few stages of the game, her damage is really ouchy, but when time progresses, she's going to be tankier than ever.
Tankier indeed, Seiya. And it's just becoming all the more trickier to get that takedown on her. So, meanwhile, Thailand trying to shove out these lanes here. Looks like we'll try to go for this mid-second here instead. We'll succeed. HuaLin as well as NT going to try to prevent them from doing any more, but the damage from MeMarkz is just too much for NT to deal with.
That's right, and look, as much as possible, Thailand here tries to stick together, avoiding their mistakes from a while ago because, well, of course, they don't want to get killed. They're already on a roll. They want to keep continuing this, and we can see a 3v4 onto the top side of this lane.
Yes, indeed, but is this going to be the potential finish? Thailand still waiting for that opening just so that they could get a high ground, just so that it could be much more value that they get off of this expedition into Chinese Taipei wildcard's territory. And looks like they managed to succeed. They get that mid-high ground. Can they go for more here? Though looks like we are seeing a bit of a transition here towards the top side. 007 trying to get a few hits onto the Chinese Taipei wildcard members. Oh, are they going to try to get initiate here? Looks like that will be the case, but Cherie managing to catch down NT, but it's actually 007 that hits from the backline and gets the kill. Looks like MG tries to back away. Looks like he'll be okay still. All 5 members of the Thai squad are still up and kicking. Cherie, take note, a little bit on the lower end of health along with MeMarkz. Looks like Thailand will retreat for now. Going to settle with clearing out the camps from the Chinese Taipei wildcard just so that they don't have as much opportunity to try to get back into this game.
That's right. Good free hit from Violet back there. It gave a little bit of fear for Team Taipei Red because they're already incomplete of members. Of course, Thailand was forced to back out because if you notice, there were no wave of minions backing up their side. Meanwhile, they're getting the Abyssal Dragon here uncontested. Once again, that's their third already. So are a bit too late to actually try and steal it from them.
This is proving to be a fiasco for the Chinese Taipei wildcard. Take note, not only are we looking at Thailand pretty much just trumps Chinese Taipei wildcard in this game in every single aspect. Gold, turrets taken, Dark Slayer, Abyssal Dragon, you name it, they're in the lead in it.
That's right. This is a different game from the Thailand that we saw just a while ago. They're actually taking control of this game right now, but I'm pretty sure that if Taipei finds a good opening, like especially for LuYao and Lindis' good poking ability, they can actually still make it if they find that good opportunity to actually go. But we can see right here on the top side of the lane that Thailand is actually focusing on right here, hoping to get that good engagement, poking TPE right over here on the top side. But I think they're going to go for that tower first before actually engaging onto a team fight. XianYo going for the heal. Violet, good free hit coming from her.
Yes, it looks like with XianYo down, Chinese Taipei wildcard, how long can they hold out? Thailand just waiting for that wave to push in before they potentially go onto the core. They could potentially clean up first. And it looks like these Taipei wildcard, they're going to try to go for the last fight. That's going to be the shutdown. Great priority onto 007. But unfortunately, the rest of Thailand, it's not just Violet, but the rest of them are still up and kicking. They still have their own fight in them, their own form of damage. Even without Violet, that's going to be a remix taking down the Ormar. 2 members down so far. XianYo is about to come up. Thailand taking a bit more methodical. Will go for that high ground in the bot lane first. Just voting their time well, waiting for the opportunity to collapse onto that core for the picture perfect finish. But oh, that is gonna be it right there. Okay, that's gonna be the knockup coming in from
Survive and defend their core back there because, well, it's at stake. I mean, they have to find a way to actually protect the core, go and engage with Thailand right there and actually have an epic comeback right here. But if you can see, they're trying as much as they can to shove away the minions, potentially trying to push that top tower. It's a candidate, also the bottom lane of this side. So far, no one's taking the Abyssal because I don't think it's quite essential right now. But I think Ta'ara's gonna go for it because, well, they badly need it because look at the gold cap right here.
Yes, indeed. So Abyssal Dragon going to be taken by Chinese Taipei wildcard. A small takeoff at this point, but if they really want to try to get back, try to contend with Thailand, they still have a long climb to go.
That's right. So far, we can still see here that the 4 members are more on the top lane.
Oh.
LuYao with that good poking ability, but is slain by Prada right here. Because it's all 2 numbers, odd 1 out. But since Lubu here manages to defeat Malok just in time.
Yes, indeed. And just like that, that's going to be 2 members down from the Chinese Taipei wildcard squad. So, looks like the Thai squad, they're starting to close in. Tara might want to start going back at this point.
That's right, because they don't have a wave of minions, so they can't really act all tough right here because it's essential. But so far, they're already acting brave right here onto the tower dive. Going finally for the tower? I don't think so. They're going for the wave of minions, so they're going onto the core. This will be a victory for them. They're going for the core, not really going for that Team TPE, and a victory for Thailand. That's 2-0.
GG, well played. Man, oh man, what a game. Congratulations to Team Thailand. Gonna just take it all the way 2-0 for this best of 3. So that'll be the topple over the Chinese Taipei wildcard, but still not a bad game. Again, at least we got a little bit more ARM action for today. I know you've been wanting some of that, Seiya.
Yes, yes. Well, I mean, I was expecting an Aurum Liliana tandem, but it's fine. I still got the Aurum madness right there. I mean, I'm really shocked because this isn't like the Thailand that we saw onto the first game a while ago. I mean, on the first one, we were seeing that they were having a difficulty at some point, but now they're really amazing because they managed to do this very smoothly, and the calculated opportunities, they're not really wasting their time on that specific kind of plays.
Man, overall, we're already on day 4? Yes,
it's the 4th day.
And we've already gotten a lot of great games and this is just a boot camp, by the way. Like, imagine all the more once we actually hit the actual AWC next month. So, by the way, guys, tickets are now available for those that want to head on to Los Angeles. There's a lot of swag, by the way, that comes with it. If you want to get us tickets, no, just kidding. I wish we could go.
I wish we could go.
Yeah, but oh well. Hopefully, for those of you that are gonna go, just let us on.
Send us pictures.
Yeah, send us pictures. Let us in on how fun the event is. I know for a fact that the Peeps, our main AOV team, has been making leaps and strides to make the event all the more epic. So be sure to get your tickets now, guys. And I guess that concludes our stream for the evening, Seiya.
Yes.
So once again, thank you all of you for tuning in, whether you guys be from MSP, and of course to all our international audience out there as well. Thank you very much. So we're gonna be taking our leave for the evening already. Just for insight for our international viewers, already nighttime here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I think it's past your bedtime, Seiya, already.
It's not past my bedtime.
Not
I'm
yet.
not a
Okay.
minor student.
Okay.
I just look like one, but I am not. Okay.
Okay, so guys, thank you so much once again. This has been Arctic as well as Seiya for the Arena of Valor World Cup 2018 Bootcamp powered by Axe. See you guys during the next stream tomorrow. But for the meantime, adios.
Ciao.